So, welcome to everybody. The suspense related to UPSC preliminary examination and mains examination this year has been resolved, right? Yesterday, UPSC has announced that the preliminary examination will be held on October 4th, and the mains will be on from Jan 20th onwards. So, friends, this is for the first time that we have such a change in the schedule of UPSC, so that almost 1 year, the calendar year has changed by the time you go to mains. Okay, so the preparation for UPSC has always been very stable. Generally, you start, or we advise people to start preparation 2 years in advance, 1 year before you actually write, and the second year actually you go to prelims, mains and all that. But now the things have changed thanks to COVID-19. So you might have already started preparing long back for this year's examination, which was supposed to be held sometime back in May, right? So how do you keep track of developments? What kind of changes you can expect in the examination, and how do you update yourself? What should be the strategy you should follow for sure success in this year's civil services examination? That is the content of this talk for you. So friends, let us think about first things first. Definitely this is both a boon and a ban. For those who have already read well enough, this is definitely a disadvantage, because you would have already written that without studying much or preparing for mains or whatever. But those who have not read properly, this is definitely a very good advantage for them. Anyway, as a civil servant or as a prospective civil servant, you will have to prepare for the unexpected, right? Any things might come. Now see, all the IAS officers are the brains behind how India is fighting COVID. We never expected, but you have to devise strategies and follow, right? And execute them. In the similar way, now let us see, generally the current affairs are being followed for the every year examinations, for prelims especially as well as mains. 1 year before the examination is generally the time frame that you can expect. Now you will have to update some of the key important aspects of your knowledge as well as the method of preparation. Let me tell you, first of all, if you see, you have some new areas which are to be prepared for GS. Now what are the new areas? Preliminary examination, if it is happening in October, on October 4th, you will definitely have current affairs questions up to September 4th or even September 10th. Anyway, UPSC is an integrated preparation. You also have to keep mains in the mind. So you continue to read, but the cutoff point for current affairs questions in the preliminary examination going to be held in October, on October 4th, should be up to September 10th. That should be the way you need to prepare. Secondly, in the current affairs, what are the things you have to read? In the current affairs, as well as the economy part, there is going to be at least 20 to 30% new areas that you will have to study or follow up, because every year preliminary and mains you tend to read economic survey and budget, then update current affairs. If economic survey is released in February along with the budget, you make it as your base, add things from February to May for the prelims and up to mains in October. But now you will have to add additional points, because economic survey data and the predictions will totally change now because of the COVID-19. We have new areas which you have to focus, that what kind of fiscal deficit, what kind of fiscal impact that is going to be there because of the COVID expenditure. The 15th Finance Commission devolution will also now expected to change. So the whole state finance and the public finance details have to be reworked by you carefully from March to, of course, September, keeping in mind the kind of impact that was there before that and after this. Okay. So, economy as a major segment in the preliminary, out of 100 questions, we are getting 30 questions related to economy, including current economy. So, this you will have to be very, very careful. I suggest you add by one. For example, if you are having, say, industries, or you are having agriculture. Now, what kind of impact the agriculture has received because of COVID, and what are the production changes that can happen and all that? What are the schemes that are brought in to help farmers? You know, what are the finance schemes that are available? Loan moratorium. What is the scenario on agri loans? All these areas you will have to see. So, suggest you divide the topics as sector wise. In agriculture, what are the new things that are happening? So, all three sectors, you know, you have primary, that is agriculture, then you have secondary, which is industry, and of course third is services, right? So, services. So, agri, industries and services. Sector wise, you please see what are the things that are there that are to be updated. Then public finance, as I already said, is going to be one major aspect that you will have to be careful in understanding. The central state finance, the financial relations are about to alter now. We have talks about how center will have to support states. This is a new era. COVID-19 is a new era in the center state financial relations. Some states, including Telangana and West Bengal and all this, or non-BJP or NDA ruled states, are seeing lot of problem in devolution of funds. We have references to helicopter money, right? Whether there should be helicopter money or some greater devolution from the center to states. All these are going to be very important areas for your prelims as well as mains. So, preliminary anyway, it's not descriptive, right, as we all know. So, give a special focus on all the schemes that are launched, all the facilities or the relief measures in the wake of COVID-19. What are the measures RBI has taken to strengthen banking? What are the measures taken in areas like Employee Provident Fund, EPF withdrawals were allowed? All these could be potential questions for you. Garib Kalyan Yojana or Atmanirbhar package, all these could be very potential questions for you that you need to see. Then friends, still we have 4 months to go. Okay, 4 months to go for our October preliminary. So you need to keep track of what are the developments. Anyway, in our website, in my website, drsridharias.com, I am also updating current affairs every day, and all of you, I request all of you to go to the website drsridharias.com, and you find current affairs. In that we have a daily affairs segment, about 10 points very crisply which are useful for your prelims, mains and just essay paper. I am segment wise, I am updating, and it's a free service. You can website access is free for this current affairs section. You can please visit that and update from now onwards till October. That will help you out to have a very crisp understanding of the current affairs and what are required. I am sure friends, you will definitely find questions in prelims and mains directly from the information that is being uploaded on my website. The current affairs segments for this part is concerned. So economy, what I suggest is one is public finance, including center state financial devolution, which are being changing. Then in the polity segment, cooperative federalism, fiscal federalism, 14th Finance Commission recommendations, what is happening in the 15th Finance Commission recommendations, how COVID is changing the way the center state relations are being looked into, all this. Then implementation of certain aspects. For example, we have complaints that some of the norms of lockdown are not being implemented by the states properly. So what is center state relations? We have a very interesting development yesterday, day before yesterday. I don't know how many of you are following. Why the COVID-19 has been redefining center-state relations. We have one nation, one market policy announced by the government. A farmer can sell his product anywhere or everywhere. We have, some chief ministers, including Punjab and even Telangana or non-BJP ruled states, they are objecting to this because agriculture is a state subject. How can center intervene? Whether we have unitary federal structure of the government or we have a completely federal government or unitary government, we always have unitary tilt in our government policies. That is also an important aspect you have to remember. So friends, think 360 degrees in all the aspects that have to be there. You have to do at least 30% more in the economy. So center-state relations, public policy. What is public policy? What is our healthcare infrastructure? What is what are the measures that are being taken? How are you supporting social infrastructure? Freebies are being given to people. Garib Kalyan Yojana. How can migrant workers? What are the issues related to migrant workers? How has been the response of public policy or India's response to COVID? All these aspects are MSMEs. So many things are happening. So major updation for you will be in the economy. Okay, 30 marks are out of economy. Out of 100, 30 marks are from economy. In this, it's a mix of combination or mix of traditional economy questions as well as current economy. Predominantly it will be current economy. We have amendments also. Essential Commodities Act has been amended. IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code has been amended. What are the amendments? That you will have to be understood. So friends, this is a major updation which I suggest you should do every day. Then international relations also in the current affairs. You also see international relations. Especially global regulatory bodies. WHO has been in the news because how is funding happening to WHO? They can simply ask you. I am going to have a lecture on that soon for your understanding. How is funding happening to WHO? Now, US President Trump has threatened that he would stop funding. So, what is the mechanism for funding? How decisions are being taken in WHO? What is the changing role of WHO? Has WHO failed in alerting nations, global nations about COVID? Do you see any better role for WHO in this kind of pandemics, that are attacking humankind in these days? So both factual questions on the structure and composition of WHO, what is the financial aspects of WHO, what are the programs, ongoing programs, how this has impacted all these aspects, international relations, US-Indo-China relations. Now we have some strain in that, right? As you say, border issues are happening. We also have China and US have a lot of troubles these days. So all these aspects have to be taken. What kind of impact the COVID-19 pandemic is going to have in bilateral trade agreements? There are developments again in Brexit. Yesterday, if you see, there are developments in the newspaper. There are developments related to Brexit, right? So all these aspects you have to be very, very careful. So in the current affairs, of course, I included current economy in the economy also. So in the current affairs, you will have to see public policy. What are the policies that are done, that are initiated, and including international relations. All these things you have to study. Then science and technology and ecology related questions can also come. We have some changes in the wildlife that are happening. All animals are coming out nowadays for a change. All the time they were inside, we are outside. Now we are inside homes, animals are coming out. The economy and the whole ecosystem is rebooting itself, right? So wildlife and all that things could be asked. Viruses, of course, viruses, drug discovery, and R&D related to vaccines. These are going to be very, very important for you. So you can definitely expect some questions. By the time you may get a new vaccine also for COVID-19. And recently, 2 days back, there was some funding, 14 million funding by global agency for International Institute of Vaccine, and there is a company called Bharat Biotech. They got 14 million US dollars funding for chikungunya vaccine. Okay, so it's not only COVID, but you also need to be careful about other vaccines and other developments that are there. Ecology and agriculture, we have attacks, locust swarms are being attacking crops now. That is also an important thing. So S&T ecology. Now what is stable in this? General science, which you might have already studied, that will be a static part. Indian history and culture will be a static part. You just have to revise that. Then polity IR, there could be some changes because international relations and constitution, the epidemic acts and the central state relations, some of the articles that define the central powers and state powers in the view of that are in the view of some conflicting developments that are happening. This I suggest you please have some special focus. Then S&T I already told you, ecology I already told you. So friends, these are the geography will be, of course, again geography part generally 7 or 8 questions are coming. So if you see the composition of preliminary examination in the last 7 years, we have about 15-16 from history and Indian history and culture. We have economy about 25 to 30, right? Current affairs will be about 30. This year, especially this year, I expect a swing in favor of current affairs. So if you handle economy part, current affairs part, then Indian history and culture part, you will be definitely able to answer 60 plus. Okay, so that should be the major area that you should be careful. So friends, be prepared for a swing in favor of current affairs. Last 3 years prelims, before last year, entire preliminary paper was based on current affairs only. Okay, so again last year we have a traditional setup. Some of you have attended interviews and waiting for the results. When you wrote prelims, you will be definitely be knowing that last year we had a traditional approach. This year, because UPSC would not stress you more in view of the gaps in current affairs, the workload may not be there. So I expect a tilt more towards current affairs in the preliminary examination that is going to happen on October 4th. So friends, newspaper should be your Bible, Bhagavad Gita or Quran or whatever. That is a very, very important thing. Go for a very, very judicious mix of preparation. Now, how do you utilize this time? Let me also talk about this. You have 4 months for prelims and 3 months for mains, total 7 months as we speak today, 2 days less because today is June 6th. Okay, so how do you manage? Friends, I have been teaching for many years, almost 20 plus years. 1998 onwards I have been teaching. So, as a person in this field, and I have seen almost nearly over 5,000 to 7,000 students, okay, whom I personally taught in this all the time, I think 7 months is the time a reasonably good student can even crack a rank. Okay, so then you please strategize. Keep up writing practice for mains. Divide time every day. You keep 1 hour for the mains writing practice, because whatever you might have already read, technically if you are a good student, you might have completed prelims by now and you would have started preparing for mains. So keep that old schedule in the mind and keep writing practice intact. Then rest of the time, if any uncovered areas are there for the mains, you can some of the overlapping areas, economy, Indian history and culture, even world history segment is also there, ethics is also there, polity and IR, there is some overlapping with the main syllabus also. Disaster management, disaster management is an issue. What we are having is a disaster, right? So disaster management, these are the areas. You divide 2-3 hours for mains, you can at least for 1 more month. I suggest 1 more month, you can actually divide your time between mains and prelims for 2-3 hours a day for mains, including mains writing practice. 1 question, friends, 8 minutes, 10 minutes you take up and write 1 question. That will help you a lot. Okay. Then practice tests for prelims are also very, very important. Okay. Keep doing some practice tests. First of all, revise everything as if you are starting a new one. Give more time to current affairs, economy and S&T. Okay, and in economy I already explained to you. Now coming to optional, all of you will have different optionals, right? So keep revising them. Weekly one day, friends, I repeat, devote for revision of optional. That will keep you, because if you have read in your childhood, almost so many days have happened, by the time you come Jan, you will forget everything. After the prelims you have to read. So just revising your browsing. For example, how do you read newspaper? If you just want to see, you just open up the book and see, need not by heart everything, just give a look. That will revive your memory. So a combination of all these things will definitely help you. And friends, current affairs and economy, you please follow our website. Some of you, we are also starting new batches, online live batches, with a proper boardroom explanation and all that. It will begin with the economy, because prelims cum mains economy for this year UPSC we are starting. I will be teaching that very soon, so you are welcome to join if you think there is a requirement. Otherwise, if you have already read, please follow current affairs. If you join as a student and enlist for the classes, we will do our best. The first thing, as I see, the most important thing here is the economy. So we will have a batch for economy for this year's civil services. In next, most probably from 10th or 11th, we will have a live class where you will actually live, you can interact with me and ask questions while I teach in the same setup. Okay, and this will be a Q&A based also, in the sense that I will explain a topic and tell you what questions are asked in the prelims from the economy part and what questions are asked in the mains from the economy part, like that. So it with one shot you can kill two birds of prelims and mains. Anyway, that's a separate thing. So friends, you update your strategy and please be prepared, and you are feel free to get back to me. connect@drsridharias.com, that is the email. Please use the website. I also have a YouTube channel, but I suggest you come to website because it will give you more access to current affairs. And I am also putting up at least every 2 days once I will keep a free access lecture on important topic that will help you in the prelims, mains as well as general essay. Or there are some of the difficult topics in each of the papers. I will take up and give you some interesting lectures. So please keep visiting drsridharias.com and please be in touch. Wish you all the best. Thanks for listening to me today.